Back in a moment.
Yeah. Alright, we're good. Oh. Watched any Drive Survive yet?
I haven't seen it yet, no. Do you know what? I need to get Netflix again. I haven't had Netflix now for ages.
Yeah, same, exactly the same as me. Convincing my dad to buy it again.
Yeah, I mean, I could get it, but I don't know if I'd use it enough. I don't know whether it'd be worth paying what £10 a month.
Not much is out on Netflix at the moment, anyway.
No, it's kind of dried up. There used to be so many exclusives, didn't there?
Yeah, but now it's just all like TV series.
The novelty of Netflix kind of gone because when it came out, it was like the only thing of its kind. Now you've got like loads of different channels.
Yeah, subscription services is all what it's about nowadays, really.
Yeah, pretty much. Who needs live TV?
Yeah, exactly. No, I haven't watched live TV in a solid year, I reckon.
I mean, the only live TV I watch is probably F1.
Yeah, that and Saturday Night Takeaway and a deck.
Oh, right. Fair play.
I actually did a PSGO race here yesterday.
Oh, you did? Is that the one that John was in as well?
No, he's PSG was like the biggest like.
Oh shoot! It's got loads of bloody tiers, hasn't it, and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it has. I think he's in like GFL. I can't remember what the name is, but yeah, I think he was going to sign up to it, and when he was doing the evaluation race, he crashed into AI and he threw his controller through. So he didn't do it. He didn't do it in time. So
wait, he's on a controller.
No, he's on wheel, but he just threw his controller.
Oh, right, fair play. So he just picked it up and was like, yeah, fuck this.
Yeah. If he was on controller, I would retire. I wouldn't race anymore.
Dude, that would be insane. Literally, I don't know. That would be absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
Right,
what did I miss? What happened?
Oh, I don't know, man. To be honest, it's a long time ago now.
Yeah.
It's a week ago.
Yeah, not much to note then.
I'm trying to remember now. Fucking hell. Oh shit, that's right. No, I'm trying to think now. What happened last week? It was Miami. Oh yeah, Joe raced for a one-off.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he did like one race as like a rarity. Kind of like special.
He sent me a picture of qualifying. He got pole by like 8 tenths, didn't he? It was 6 tenths or something like that. Yeah,
but Dem was actually quite close to him in the race. He wasn't a million miles off. Well, no, he wasn't. I mean, he finished within 10 seconds of him in the race, so it wasn't massively one-sided, but it was quite dominant.
Yeah, well, to be expected, really.
Yeah, the thing is, he was always up there winning races before, and plus without GGJ being there as well, because GGJ was always one who pushed him, and Victor wasn't there either, so Dem was the only one who could challenge him. Bennett was kind of like not too far off.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Right, that's the link. Let's post that on Discord. Oh, it's done that ugly thumbnail. Man, I don't want that thumbnail. Please, oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, hold on. Oh, fuck.
Are we live yet?
Yeah, kind of. Oh, sorry, it won't stop. It won't come in yet.
Fair enough.
I'm trying to get rid of that ugly thumbnail. It's really, I don't want it, man. Why does it always default to that stupid ugly thumbnail? I don't like it. Just why does it always appear? I don't want that thumbnail. Just get off my screen. God's sake. It's ruined my night, that is.
Oh no.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Motive Racing YouTube channel. We are here tonight for round 6 of the Formula 1 League here for Season 5 on the PlayStation platform. And we, as you can probably tell, are at Circuit de Catalunya, Barcelona here for the Spanish Grand Prix. And I'm joined tonight by my friend in the commentary box who was with me for the first couple of rounds of the season, and that is Max GT UK. Welcome back to the commentary box, mate. Great to have you alongside me tonight.
It's good to be back. I've took 2 weeks off, but I'm back ready to race and watch a spectacle really of motor racing.
Absolutely, it's going to be an absolute cracker here tonight at a track which the guys know well. We obviously did a pre-season little time trial before we realised we wouldn't need it at the start, so the guys know the track quite well. Is that affinity going to be paying off for anybody who's here tonight, as we're almost lights out? Vincent Janssen on pole with GGJ alongside him. It's a Red Bull front row lockout and it's lights out and away we go, and it looks like a pretty even start from the front too. Good start from the second row there from Dems Becky. He's onto the grass, got nowhere to go, gets squeezed by the Red Bulls as we come down towards turn 1, side by side between Vincent and GGJ. GGJ's looking down the inside but he can't make it happen. Somebody's gone very low on the brakes there. Twitch Storms goes absolutely spearing into somebody there. He's dropped down to the back of the pack, and I think also Street Boys dropped out a few positions there as that was carnage there in the first few corners. But it's Vincent Janssen ahead of GGJ, Dems Becky and Bennett in third and fourth places. So the Ferraris are right behind the Red Bulls at the moment. You've got Tezamaza running in P5 ahead of Matty Pitt, followed by Crazy Max, who's just ahead of the Mark. As you can see there, the Mark's going to be looking up the inside. But yeah, what a start that was, and a bit of a shame there for Twitch Storms, who's down to the back of the pack.
Yeah, big mistake there by Twitch Storms. He outbroke himself wildly there, sending it down the inside and causing all sorts of carnage. Right? That one is on Twitch Storms. Luckily, no damage for anyone, I don't think, but Twitch Storms consequently is at the back of the pack.
Yeah, what a massive shame. As we can see, the top 4 currently are the Red Bulls and the Ferraris. You've got Tezamaza trying to hold on to the back of them. Matty Pitt currently driving a very strong race here in the Mercedes, keeping up with the leaders so far on this first lap. He's had a decent showing, but we've seen, obviously, over the course of this season, we've seen a few argy-bargies on the first lap. Not some very, very questionable driving, but so far so good here, apart from that bit of a send-it from Twitch Storms going into turn 1. As we see them all coming out the last corner, about to finish the first lap, we can see there Denny Boy's into the pits at the end of lap 1. So he's obviously got a bit of damage there, which he's having to sort out. But Vincent and GGJ still running quite close at the moment. As we can see, the top 4 broken away there.
Round turn 1 there. And that's a big mistake. He went on the curb. I don't think there was any contact, but he got on the curb there and just spun around there. Really unlucky. And yeah, Ferrari's right on the Red Bulls. This is what we want in the championship battle. This is what we want.
Absolutely, as well. Obviously, Red Bull would have lost out a load of points last time out of Miami because they weren't here. GGJ had problems with his internet, and Vincent Janssen was feeling under the weather. So both of these two missed out, and it was the Ferraris who capitalised with a double podium finish last time out. Second for Dems Becky and third for Bennett. As we can see, Twitch Storms is out of the race, and so is the Must Nuts. So we have lost 2 drivers. 2 drivers out of the race already here, and is that going to be a safety car? It's double wave yellow flags throughout the entire circuit, but no safety car. Is it a VSC? I'm not sure. It might be a VSC. Yeah, I think it is.
Very slow. Yeah, so it's a virtual safety car for now.
So that's a shame there that the things have been grinded to a halt just for now. But interesting start here. Vincent's got a reasonable lead over GGJ right now, just over a second. So he's managed to pull out a little bit here. But we've got some comments coming in on YouTube right now. Sebastian saying, Dimitri, by just your profile picture, how many times did you have to repeat a year? Totally Zero K says, hi. Game for Life Felix says, hello mate, this is very sad to say as the league was the league. I got my first win in it and I got a lot of friends during my time here, but I'm announcing my retirement from Motive. Alright, that's a bit of a strange time to say it, but that's a shame.
Oh, big shame that. And Ferrari, yeah, massive shame. Wow, that's actually sinking in.
And on that bombshell,
the Ferrari vote is going to go round the outside. There's going to be a massive move round the outside and turn 4 or 5 things. There's going to be contact, and the Ferrari's off. He's going to be in the wall. There's going to be a few arguments about that in the chat after the race, I can tell you that. But very close between Red Bulls and Ferraris, sparking up the championship battle once again.
GGJ and Dems Becky, I know that these two have a bit of beef in the background here. They've been arguing it out, but I think they, for the most part, I thought they got on top of their issues over the last couple of weeks. But we can see there it's flaring up once again. Dems Becky coming up much worse there in that little collision. GGJ almost getting away scot-free there. He's still on the back of the leaders. He's only 2 seconds off of the current leader, Vincent Janssen. But Bennett now into second place, and Tezamaza onto the podium. But Dems Becky, you'll be cursing that one right now. I know what his feelings are on GGJ. I know what GGJ's feelings are on Dennis Becky as well. So this one is going to be going on all night and probably all week as well. But GGJ's trying to get onto the back of Teza Muzza here as they're coming out of the last corner to complete lap 3 of the race. But Vincent Janssen, stretching his gap out the front, has got over a second and is out of DRS threat here to Bennett.
GGJ is going to have to go down the inside of Teza Muzza. Teza Muzza doesn't fight it because he knows that it's not his battle. But now GGJ back onto the back of the Ferrari Bennett LCFC.
In the meantime, Jules Silverman down the inside of the mark into turn 1. That's job done there up into P7.
But yeah, really good job there from GGJ. Doesn't lose any time out of Teza Muzza. You know, mutual agreement that, yeah, it's just not his target at the moment. Teza he's going to try and use his DRS maybe of GGJ to just keep with the leaders, because he's definitely within a chance of a podium this race if a Ferrari and Red Bull have this much of a relationship as it's been evident today. But yeah, very good job.
Obviously, there's no real strategy to talk about here in this sprint race, because it's not really the time when you see differing strategies. It's kind of only an 11-lap race, so the medium tyres will easily go the distance. We're seeing it's literally a straight-out sprint. There is no strategizing or saving tyres. It's just all out from lights to flag, basically. As we're looking at the battle for the mid-pack here, you've got Jules Silver. Pardon me, Jules Silverman's got the mark and street on the back of him.
GGJ, and Teza's going to get through. Teza's going to get through here. GGJ had a little bit of a moment on the exit of a previous corner, and that allowed Teza to get through. Really good there. Really good opportunity taken there from Teza.
In the meantime, Bennett's really close on Vincent Janssen over the course of this lap. I wouldn't be surprised if Bennett's done the fastest lap there on that previous time. Doesn't look like he has, but he's got DRS, and Bennett's going to make the move for the lead here down towards turn 1. So it's the Ferrari taking P1 here, and Bennett, I know he likes this track. I've seen him race around here a few times in the OG League and the XL League back in the day, and he currently hits the front here at Motive for the Spanish Grand Prix here tonight. So Vincent Janssen's got to have his work cut out if he wants to win this sprint race, because Bennett seeming to be pretty racy here tonight. As we've got side by side in the background here, Teza Muzza's looking to the inside of GGJ into turn 4. Down the inside he goes, and Teza moves up onto the podium.
That is how you do it. A very solid move. There's will be contact there.
Oh, Jules Silverman.
Punt to pass. That is punt to pass. And that. Oh, and they touch again. That is. Oh, that's very controversial. That's also going to have to look at. And Teza round the outside. This time space was given, and Teza secures a move. But yeah, a little bit of argy-bargy between these two. That's going to have to be decided in the stewards.
Whilst you were talking about this battle, which we're still watching now into turn 9, I was just watching a battle there going on with Jules Silver, and he ended up spinning around and losing a load of places there. He's down to 10th place in this race. He's got Matty Pitt on the back of him as well. But Matty Pitt, what a shame for him, because he was right up there in qualifying and was running a very strong first couple of laps until his mistake. He's now down in P10, but he's managed to get ahead of Jules Silver into the final points-paying position. But the battle at the front still raging on. Bennett's managed to gap Vincent a little bit over the course of that lap. Fastest lap of the race so far there from Bennett as well, but Vincent just keeping himself within that DRS range at the moment, as GGJ here looking down the inside of Teza Muzza.
Yeah, he didn't use any ERS for his steering wheel, so he just literally just coasted past him straight. He didn't want to use any of his resources to try and get back onto his teammate there, but he's lagging behind a little bit. There's still time left in this race, but he's lagging behind at this moment, GGJ.
Definitely so, but the battle at the front is still going on here. Bennett and Vincent Janssen, 0.3 of a second between these two right now, and Vincent's just throwing little dummies up the inside, trying to keep him on his toes, distract him a little bit in the mirrors as these guys coming through the 6 and 7 sort of like chicane bit. But you can see there that these two, GGJ and Teza Muzza, are definitely dropping off whilst they're battling it out. Obviously the top two are kind of just keeping to themselves. Although they're running close, they're not really engaging with each other. They know that they're best off working together here to try and put out the gap, but then again Vincent might want to try and get GGJ involved in this. So you know, he probably, if he would get ahead of Bennett, maybe he would try and back Vincent up, or try and back Bennett up, should I say, into GGJ, who knows. But for the time being, Bennett LCFC looking to have the pace here around Barcelona as we're coming out of the last corner. Didn't get a great run out of the chicane though. I'll tell you what, Vincent's going to have a run here down the start finish straight, as here we go, DRS will be open for the Red Bull, and this is most likely going to be the lead here for Vincent as we're coming down the start finish straight down towards turn 1. That is job done there for Vincent Janssen rather easily. Bennett's going to tuck back into the slipstream as he goes late on the brakes, but not close enough to come back at him there. So Vincent leads this sprint race once again. These two chopping and changing, and GGJ and Tez are still running in the final place, still running in those 3rd and 4th places there. You can see the Alfa Romeo of Alfa.
He's going to go down the inside of turn 4. He's got the switchback out of the exit of turn 3. It's going to be side by side. We know what they're like, Red Bull and Ferrari around that corner. Bennett's still on the outside. They're wheel to wheel. How is there no contact? Enough room is just about given. Vincent Janssen has the inside line though. Will he be latest on the brakes? No. But
no!
He's round. round. He hit his rear.
He poked his nose where it wasn't.
Rear right wheel.
He shouldn't have poked his nose in there. Oh, that was a little bit sketchy there. Vincent Janssen losing a load of time there to Bennett. Bennett's now got GGJ on the back of him though. So one Red Bull bites the dust, another one is right in the picture here. So Bennett must have lost a bit of time there with that bit of a skirmish there with Vincent. Vincent's nearly 10 seconds off for the lead now though. So that's gone absolute a nightmare for him. But GGJ's still very much in this battle, and Teza Muzza is now within a second of the lead. So this is played absolutely beautifully into the hands of Teza Muzza. Dems Becky, who had the collision with GGJ earlier on and was off the leaders, is now right there as well, ready to capitalise.
Yeah, Vincent shouldn't have stuck his nose in there. He knew that the Ferrari had the inside, and yeah, it just wasn't going to work. There's no way that overtake was going to happen, and consequently a collision happened. So yeah, both drivers' fault, but racing incident for now.
Yeah, I reckon you're right, but we can see there Bennett's still keeping ahead of GGJ at the moment. GGJ just trying to hassle him, trying to force him into a mistake, but so far nothing. Oh, Vincent's lost it! Vincent stacked it there coming through turn 3, and he's going to lose out here to Crazy Max the Mark. HG Baguette and Street Boy is going to come through as well. Vincent gets it going again. Has he got damage? Looks like he's actually got away with it in terms of damage. So he's down to P10 there. Matty Pitt coming through, but Vincent Janssen, his race is going from bad to worse right now. He needs to get himself out of this rot because the Grand Prix is coming up after this. Can he get a few positions and maybe just elevate his grid position? At the moment, as it stands, he would start in P10 for the Grand Prix.
Yeah, that's shocking. Spinning on your own in a championship winning car. Oh, he's gonna be very frustrated with himself, and it's just a disadvantage really in the race coming up. P10, he's just gonna be within the points, so that's not gonna be helpful for the championship battle that's flaming right now between Ferrari and Red Bull.
Definitely so. As we're watching it all here, still going on out the front. It's Bennett who leads by 0.6 of a second. GGJ with the DRS, but I think he's a little bit too far back to make a move coming into turn 1. He'll get the closing speed and he'll just be able to put him under a little bit of pressure here. But Bennett's just got enough in hand there as Teza's dropped out of DRS there on GGJ. Demis Becky's still on the back of Teza Muzza though, as these guys coming through turns 1, 2 and 3 for the 9th time in this race. We've got 3 laps left to go here in the sprint race, and GGJ's not going to give this one up on the back of Bennett, that's for sure, as they're coming through your shot through turn 4. These 4 guys still in with a shout of winning this sprint race. Bit of a gap back to Crazy Max, who's got the mark a couple of seconds behind him. HD Baguette trying to pile the pressure here on the markers. They're coming through into turn 4 right now. Riding on board with HD Baguette, who last season drove in the Alfa Romeo. For this race, she's had to go for the Alfa Tauri as the Alfa Romeos have been locked out. Or indeed, actually, maybe she would have been able to go for it, because I think Street Boy's riding in the Alfa Romeo, so she wouldn't have been able to. But HD Baguette currently trying to force the mark into a mistake, but so far nothing doing. The mark has held firm. But the thing about HD Baguette, one thing that she does, and this has always been her strategy, is she always starts from the back because she doesn't want to get involved in any of the first lap carnage. I'm interested to see what she does in a sprint race, because obviously if she does well in a sprint race, she's got to start near the front. So how's that going to play out? I mean, that's going to be an interesting one.
It's a complicated one, but I think she can do it. She's a very skilled driver, that's for sure, and good at keeping out of trouble and just consistently finishing races and starting from the front. It's going to be a new experience for her, that's for sure. But I think she could pull it off.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be very unusual to be sort of in such close proximity to a load of drivers. So we see the battle out the front.
Well.
GGJ and Bennett here battling out the front. GGJ now leads the race. Let's go back to the battle between HD Baguette and the markers. Yep, she's done it around the outside up into P6. I was just checking out the battle for the lead because GGJ's got the lead, but Bennett's trying to come back at him here, coming down towards turn 5. Down the hill they go into this little dip. And GGJ currently has the P1, but Teza Muzza is now right on the back of these guys as well as they're coming down towards 6 and 7. So this is going to be 3 for the lead, I think, in the final lap of this race. But GGJ currently has it. Bennett has been coming back at him every time, though. We see these two swapping positions left, right, and centre as Dennis Becky's got a time penalty there for track limits. So that's going to hurt him by the time he gets to the end of this race. Even if he's able to get ahead of any of these 3 guys in front of him, he will not be able to finish ahead of them in the classification. So Dennis Becky there shooting himself in the foot, and that is his chance of a podium here in this sprint race done.
Yeah, definitely, and he's going to keep P4 at best, but yeah, no short having a podium here tonight. Teza Muzza has been keeping it within this, within the Bennett and GGJ's pace. So what can he do in the race? You know, there's plenty of time in the race. There's like triple this time in the race. Yeah, I'm excited for Teza and his pace in the race. I think it's going to be something new. We could have a new winner here tonight.
Definitely. Tezemas is a driver who also likes to play the strategy. He does the one-stopper. He makes it work quite often. So could we be seeing some of that here tonight? He's currently on the back of these guys here, GGJ and Bennett, as they're going through turn 4. But Bennett is not done here. But I tell you what, the Red Bull is very quick in a straight line. GGJ's got a lower downforce setup than Bennett. You can tell that because even when Bennett had DRS down the straight, he was not really getting any pickup whatsoever.
Street Boys around the exit of turn 3 there, he stacked it just like Vincent did, and he's got it going again. I don't think he has damage from what I can tell. Yeah, but he's round and he's out with points.
Yeah, shame for Street Boy there. We go back to the battle for the lead here because GGJ, Bennett and Tezemas are about to finish the race. Demspecki on the back of these guys as well, but GGJ and Bennett have had a great little scrap for the lead, but it's GGJ who's going to come out on top, barring any major catastrophes here in this final chicane. Here he comes. GGJ is going to take another sprint race win here at Motive for this Season 5 here. What a job from him. Managed to keep cool under pressure, and GGJ is your winner ahead of Bennett in second. Tezemas completes the podium with Demspecki there in P4. Crazy Max is coming out of the final corner right now, and he's going to just hold on. HG Baguette was coming through him at the end, but Crazy Max takes P5. HG Baguette pulled out a second to the mark there in the end to take P6. From the mark over in 7th. Matty Pitt, is he going to hold on here ahead of Vincent up towards the line? Yes, he does, just about. Matty Pitt 8th, Vincent over in 9th. Denny Boy out of the last corner will take home P10 here in this sprint race, with Street Boy a long way behind there in 11th place. Polish My Balls didn't seem to be really getting going in this race. He's got Aussie Albie battling. Actually, Aussie Albie, we've barely spoken about this man here tonight, jumping in as a very late standing reserve. He actually races with us on Project Cars too in the Clio Cup and the touring cars, and he's a man who's been playing F1 a bit recently, just trying to get up to speed with it, but it's not easy to jump into an F1 car when you've got guys of this level and this pace in the lobby with you. Oh, there's a crash there, they're both out of the race. Oh my goodness, Polish My Balls binned it on the curb and speared into Aussie Albie, and Aussie Albie out of the race at the end. Oh, it's gutting there for him. He only had 2 corners to go and he'd have finished his first race.
Wow, Polish My Balls on the sausage curb there, nothing he can do to save that, spinning around into...
Polish My Balls, the torpedo there.
A little bit there. Got on the curb, nothing he could do really, but yeah, really solid drive from GGJ. Just kept it, you know, on the track, kept it in front of Bennett there, crucially, and yeah, just ignoring any moves, instead of Bennett actually, my bad. And yeah, just finish the race in first, which is always helpful.
It certainly is. We see there HG Baguette also getting the driver of the day, obviously because she starts from the back, but she won't be getting driver of the day unless she wins. I don't think she'll be getting driver of the day for the Grand Prix because she'll be starting this run from P6. Unknown territory for her, as she's a driver who likes to keep out of trouble and start at the back. But GGJ on pole position for the Spanish Grand Prix here at Motive. Bennett on the front row alongside him with Tezemas and Demspecki behind them. The Red Bull of Vincent Janssen way down the order in 9th place. Where's he going to be able to get to? Can he bring himself back up through the pack? It's going to be an exciting race here tonight, and we can't wait to get this one underway.
Yeah, I really can't wait. Again, so any race predictions, any winner predictions, Andy?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot now. Winner predictions. I'm going to probably go with... I'm going to go with Bennett. I think Bennett.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so I think GGJ was definitely just confident under pressure, and he definitely has that top line speed, which could be helpful throughout the race. But Bennett, with the higher downforce, so it could be beneficial throughout the race for tyres and whatnot. But Tezza, let's just not count him out. I'm really excited to see what he does in this race, because on the podium in the sprint race and keeping with them confidently as well, the front two. So I'm going to say GGJ, and I think I have for quite a few times, but yeah, I think GGJ's got this one. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah, it's going to be a close race, I think, but we saw that the 4 drivers battling for the lead. I do apologise if you guys can just hear me tapping on the keyboard. I'm not being ignorant, I'm just trying to get the stream to be shared with the thumbnail on, the proper thumbnail, the actual real thumbnail that I want everyone to see, but it's coming up with some banner instead. Which, you know, was a very nice banner back in its day, but it's a Project Cars 2 banner, which was meant for the Ginettas, and it's obviously not very apt for a Formula 1 stream. So
really.
It's not really what I wanted to be showing on the stream live here. But nonetheless, let's just I just need to get over it basically and just suck it up. But we've got 16 drivers here tonight. We've got a couple of drivers starting on the hard tyres. That is Dems, Becky and HG Baguette who are starting on the hards. So are they going to go for a one-stop? Also Vincent and Denny Boy going on the hard tyres. Surprising to see Matty Pitt starting on the soft tyres here tonight. And so is Street Boy as well. So that's going to be an interesting strategy. Are they going to be two-stopping or are they going to be putting the hards on? That's going to be a very exciting development to see how that pans out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, last night I did a PSGL League race here at Spain. Pretty much all of us did a one-stop from the mediums to the hards. I don't know what they're trying to do. We're starting on softs, but I'm sure. I'm sure we'll figure something out. So we got 2 hard starters, and typically, if you're expected to be at the front, but you find yourself lower down the order. Vincent Janssen, you'd start on harder tyre just to try and go long.
You've got nothing to lose, have you?
Yeah, exactly. And then just finish a race on the softer tyre and push your way to front.
Yeah, obviously you don't want to be finding yourself in a position where you can't fight with the guys at the front, and then you're going to be more likely to make mistakes. I think if you're on a harder compound at the front, because then you're going to be sort of overdriving it and pushing it. But like you say, he's going to be amongst a few drivers who probably aren't going to be able to offer him too much of a fight. So if he can get himself in some clean air, at some point, and try and chase down the top 4, who I'm sure are going to be the ones to beat, he might find himself with a chance. But here we go, the lights coming on now at the head of the grid. We're about to go racing here for the Spanish Grand Prix here at Motive for Season 5 on the F1 game. And it's lights out, and away we go. And Dems Becky points his car straight at GGJ as they get off the line, but GGJ gets a decent start and covers him off coming down towards turn 1 as you've got the Ferrari there. Dems Becky on the inside of Tezza Muzza and Crazy Max tucking in the background. But here we come into turn 1 right now. Vincent Janssen's already up into 6th place, so what a start from him as Matty Pitts dropped it there. Matty Pitts had a moment there. He's down to the back pretty much as he's down 15th place there for Matty Pitt. Jill Silverin has lost out to Twitch Storms, but it's GGJ leading coming towards turn 4 for the first time as you've got Tezza Muzza and Dems Becky side by side here going through the corner, but Tezza Muzza keeping it on the outside there and holding on to 3rd place as the mark is dropping down the order. What's happened to him? He's lost out to Twitch Storms and Jill Silverin, so he's down to 13th place. Polish My Ball's getting ahead of him as well, so the mark losing places, but he's managed to keep on the inside there. But GGJ ahead of Bennett coming through turn 7 for the first time. Tezza Muzza there in 3rd place ahead of Dems Becky. We've got double H flags through sector 2. I'm not quite sure what they're for at the moment, but quite a clean start, apart from obviously Matty Pitt dropping it there, and apart from that, the Mutts Nuts seems to have had a moment as well at the back of the pack right now. But currently it's GGJ from Bennett, Tezza Muzza and Dems Becky. It's as you were, apart from Vincent Janssen, who made a great start there, 3 places off the line.
No position changes from the top 5. Vincent Janssen doing a really good start there, very good. Dems Becky into turn 1 and 2, even into turn 3, tried to get ahead of Tezza Muzza as soon as he can to try and reach out to his Bennett and try and support him as much as he can, but he didn't do so, therefore losing out. But yeah, as you were for the top 5.
Oh, Aussie Albie, I think has dropped it there coming out of the chicane. He seems to have had a bit of a moment there. He was struggling with a lot of experienced drivers around him trying to make their way through, and it looks like he's dropped down to P15 there. But going back to the leaders, it's GGJ versus Bennett, 0.2 of a second separating these two as they're coming down towards turn 4. And look at this, these two putting on a show. We saw these two dicing it out for the duration of the sprint race. It looks like they're currently the top dogs here tonight. Tezza Muzza's keeping them on the same page at the moment. Dems Becky on the hard tyres is going to be a massive player in this race as we see Vincent down the inside of Crazy Max. Through turn 5 he goes, and he's made that move up into P5. Beautiful move there from Vincent Janssen.
That is absolutely amazing from Vincent. Really caught Crazy Max lacking there and just snapping really. Sent it down the inside. Crazy Max had to yield because of charging Red Bull down the inside. And of course, might be team orders. Who knows? Red Bull and AlphaTauri being sister team. But here comes Denny Boy around the outside. This could be a good move. Oh, Crazy Max has lost it. Easy on the curb. And that's a little bit of a mistake there, losing out to Street Boy. But yeah, very solid move from Vincent, who moves him onto Demspecki, his champion, well, main rival of this race. And let's see if there's any repetitions of what happened in the sprint race.
The thing is, I think that the two drivers who we're going to have to watch out for, who are going to have a great chance of getting, maybe winning this race, it's going to be Demspecki and Vincent, who are both on those hard tyres. They're going to have that strategic wild card to play here in this race. GGJ Bennett and Tezamaza, they're going to have to come into the pits well before the halfway mark in this race to get to obviously, because their medium tyres are not going to be hanging in there much beyond that. So these guys, Demspecki and Vincent, are they planning on maybe going long so they can put the soft tyres on at the end, or are they just going to go for the medium, which is still going to be faster than what GGJ and Bennett and Tezza are going to have to run, because they're going to have to run the hard tyre in the second part of this race. These two have the benefit of definitely having a faster tyre at the end, and you know that you can push at that point. You know that it's going to get you to where you need to be, and you don't need to worry about conservation. So it's definitely going to be the ball is going to be in the court of these two right now. They are dropping off for the leaders, but they're not going to be too worried about that at this point. Bennett needs to get on with this because he knows that he's losing time behind GGJ, 3/10 between them, but he's got DRS down this straight into turn 9, but he's just not close enough at the moment, but he's keeping that pressure on. I said before though, in the sprint race, Max, GGJ seems very quick in a straight line. Bennett, no matter how close he gets, he needs to have straight line speed to pass him. I know he's got DRS, but it wasn't really doing him much favours in the sprint race.
Yeah, I mean, Catalonia isn't really a track we can overtake through the corners. It has to be done through the straights, or take inspiration from Vincent Janssen to send it down the inside when your opponent is least knowing of it. But yeah, Bennett is just trying to keep up with him. And let's not count out Demspecki as well. He's kept with the top 3 on this hard tyre, so he's done an absolutely amazing job. Really, really impressive from the hard tyre runner here. And yeah, he's just going to have a bigger advantage. The more he keeps with him, keeps in the DRS, he's going to stay with him and be on the same page when he has the softer tyres compared to the medium runners right now.
For sure, as we can see, HDB gets ahead of Streetboy. That's because Streetboy's been it there, coming out of turn 3, so he loses out there to the mark. So the Matty Pit, the mark, and the Mutts Nuts all move through up ahead of Streetboy. Streetboy there running just ahead of Crazy Max right now, so that's gone a nightmare there for him. As we can see now, Crazy Max is ahead of that. Streetboy onto the grass again, so he's having an absolute horror show here. It's going from bad to worse for him right now. So he seems to just be in a bit of a rut. He needs to get himself out of it and maybe just come into the pits, get his head back in the game here. But GGJ and Bennett still the top 2. You've got Tezza Muzzer on the fringes of these guys right now, and Tezza, you said before, Max, he could be a shout for this win. He's not doing his usual of putting the hards on for the start. He's gone for the mediums, he's gone for pace here, but he's keeping with these guys at the moment and doing exactly what he needs to do, because he needs to be there waiting if these two make a mistake or trip over each other.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, as I've said before, this championship battle between the Ferrari and Red Bull could really cause something, and Bennett, I don't think he's not using any ORS. He's going to try and go down the inside, though. This could be a good move, but again, he just doesn't have the aerodynamic, skill to compete with him. Oh, and he's round! GGJ's round!
No!
And he's made a mistake, and Bennett's inherited the lead, but here comes Tezza Muzzer! Tezza Muzzer down the inside, he's getting Bennett's lost it! Bennett's lost it, he's on the grass, he could lose out to Denny Boy here. And his teammate has been just uplifted into P2, and Tezza Muzzer's in the lead. And for Red Bull, one over Ferrari, just tripping over himself there, and a big mistake there from Bennett.
Oh, Tezza Muzzer there, great move around the outside. Demspecki's trying to keep it within a second of him, but both of the top 2 making a mistake within about 2 corners of each other. How crazy is that? But Vincent Janssen also lost out to Denny Boy whilst all of that was going on. Denny Boy moved himself up into P4. So Vincent Janssen obviously was making progress at the start, but he's lost out to the McLaren here, and Denny Boy seems to have some pretty good pace here right now. He's only 3 seconds off the lead on the hard tyres as well.
Yeah, on the hard tyres, again, really impressive, just like Demspecki. He's going to stick with without the back marker in between them, he wouldn't have DRS right now, so he's absolutely thanking I think it's Twitch Storm Series on the back marker. But yeah, really solid race from Denny Boy, just picking up the scraps of what just happened. And what just happened I can't comprehend, because that is crazy what just happened. But yeah, Demspecki is going to try and stick on the back of Tezza Muzzer, and there's a big moment there. Demspecki had a bit of oversteer, and that's given his teammate back up into P2. What is happening tonight in Spain?
I don't know if maybe it looks like is it a bit later in the day? Is the temperature of the track maybe starting to play a bit of a factor here? Because it looks like obviously the sun looks to be setting a little bit. Maybe the track's a little bit colder than it was before, and that's causing chaos here. Maybe they're struggling to get the temps in the tyres. I don't quite know. As we just see a Mercedes here, a Twitch Storms, really not making this very aesthetically pleasing right now, I've got to say.
Yeah. Well, he has a pace to overtake Tesla, so oh, there's an Alpine part on the side of the track. That's interesting. That's polished by balls, and there's a Mercedes around as well. I think that was Twitch Storms. Twitch Storms is out. So, have they had a mistake and polished by balls is trying to wait for him? What is happening?
This is a bit confusing, I must admit.
It's a full safety car.
Full safety car? What? Oh, wait. Did Twitch Storms actually... Is there debris on the track?
I think so. I saw him parked by the side of the track, but I think Polish Bubbles was waiting. I don't know if he was like he caused an error or maybe crashed him out and tried to wait for him, but he's out.
That is really strange.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Tesla must have put the medium top... Sorry, the hard tyres on, should I say. Bennett's put the hards on as well, so has GGJ. Matty Pitt coming in, is he going to put the hards on? Matty Pitt puts on the medium, so he's doing at least a 2-stopper here tonight. That's a bit of a ballsy strategy, I've got to say.
Definitely. Medium. He might go on softs at the end there.
Yeah, medium, soft. Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting strategy.
It probably go to about lap 22, 23.
Yeah, something like that. I think the softs can last fairly long on this track. I mean, it's not the most arduous track for tyres. I know it can be a little bit, especially towards the end of the stint. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But Demspecky, Denny Boy, and Vincent all on the hard tyres. And HD a big get as well. She's fourth and she's stuck out. She's staying out of trouble, which we've predicted, and she's done very well. Maybe she should do this more often.
Yeah. Well, HD would get used to racing with us actually every week. She was a regular driver last season, but there were a few little incidents here and there, and the driving standards tonight, I tell you what, I've been really impressed with the last couple of weeks. We kind of cracked down on it after a race at Imola, which was particularly bad, and touch wood, the standards have been actually a lot better in the last couple of weeks. The racing's been more exciting and closer, and yeah, it's just been overall a lot better the last couple of weeks, but obviously she's been able to make her way through the pack quite seamlessly in both of the races here tonight, but we're still yet to pit. Obviously Tezza Muzza, Bennett, GGJ, Matty Pitt, the Mark, Crazy Max, Aussie Albie, Street Boy, all of these drivers on fresh tyres now, so that's going to obviously go against drivers like Demis Becky, Denny Boy, Vincent and HG Baguette, and also Mutts Nuts as well, who's still yet to come in. He's in P6 as well on the mediums, so he's going to find himself in a bit of trouble in a few laps time. But overall, a bit of a mixed bag in terms of strategy at this point. I'm surprised that Demis Becky didn't come in and switch to a 2-stop, but then again, I suppose when you start on the hard tyres, it's not easy at all to sort of make that commitment. So I kind of understand, if you've started on the hard tyres, you're very much focused on doing a long run in the first stint, and as long as there's not more than one safety car, you can still make it work. So it's just going to be about a bit of a guessing game at this point. Are we going to have more safety cars? Is this going to be it? Because the last couple of weeks we haven't had too many safety cars. We didn't have any last week at Miami, of all places, not to have one.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
I know.
I didn't expect that, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely.
Reduced.
Demis Becky, Denny Boy, Big Get, and Muzza have to hold off this horde of fresh tyre runners. But the more they can, and the more that Tesla Muzza has to fend these off, the better for the front runners, because that means when they eventually pit, they'll be in fresher tyres, and so have an even bigger advantage that the fresher tyre runners would have right now.
Absolutely. We've got Glenn in the comments there saying, someone do a rain dance, spice it right up. Oh, I don't know about that, Glenn. I don't think that's a great idea. Yeah.
Please don't.
Imagine if we just got the sprinklers out and just started doing some artificial wet running or something.
No,
that would be a little bit not the most authentic. I also got Tony 0K in the comments as well. Also JR saying, alright my mate, hope you and Anna are well, have a blessed weekend. Thank you mate, and you too, hope the family are all good. And also asking who's co-commentating. Max, he says. He's obviously impressed.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, well, obviously the bombshell announcement that we heard earlier in the stream tonight, Max, is that we're losing Game for Life. He's not going to be racing with us anymore from now on, which is a shame. Obviously, he's been with us since the beginning. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, since season 1 on F1 2020. Yeah, really is a big loss.
Yeah, I've definitely had quite a few battles with him. He's a very good racer, and you can have amazing battles with him. But yeah, it's such a shame to see him go, but brings in opportunities for fresh new talent.
Absolutely. As we're coming down towards turn 1 here on the restart, obviously the top 4 still got a pit, top 5 now because Matt's into P5 as we've got carnage here.
There's a little bit of front wing coming off there. I don't know who's off, but it looked like an end plate just flew up into the air. I think it might be Bennett, you know.
Bennett wide. Yeah, he's struggling. He's got lots of downforce there. Look at him. He's ever so wide there coming out of turn 3. He's lost places.
His front right end plate.
Oh, he's crabbing.
He's slow as well. He's got a puncture. I don't know if he's got a puncture or not, but he's very slow.
He's absolutely crabbing right now. Is Bennett LCFC? He's down to 11th place. Looks like it's probably a bit of downforce loss there, which is causing him to lose loads of places. But Demsbecky leads ahead of Denny Boy right now. HGV get up into the podium places as GGJ's picked off the Nuts up into 5th place. So GGJ on his fresh tyres making very quick progress here, but Tezamaz is in front of him on the same strategy. So Tezamaz are currently kind of like your net race leader, I guess, in a way.
He's going to go down the inside mode, GGJ. He's going to make the move stick. Oh, he's going to have a little bit of a moment. And Tezamaz is going to go off the track a little bit. But he keeps the position, and the Mutsnuts is going to try and have a go at Tezamaz there. And Vincent Janssen round the outside of the Mutsnuts is going to be forced off the track. He's going to hold him on the outside. That's a brilliant move. And he goes on the sausage curb. He comes onto the track, and he keeps the position. That's a brilliant move from Vincent there. Moves him up position, but Mutsnuts is not done yet. He's going to have the inside.
Yeah, no DRS this time around. No DRS because obviously we're only on lap 1 of the restart, so he'll be able to get the slipstream, but no rear wing as he's looking to the outside.
Vincent Janssen is going to move on the straight. That could be a little bit of an eyebrow raiser there, but yeah, Vincent Janssen breaks just about later than him. And
Mutsnuts has been there. Oh, he's lost his front wing as well.
He's lost his front wing. He's lost his front wing. Luckily, he's still in the race, but he's lost his front wing there. That's going to be a pit stop for him. But yeah. Oh, good racing, very close to racing, but is it too close?
It looks like it might be a bit of over the top there between those two, but the Mustangs is going to have to come into the pits at the end of this lap to get that sorted out. He'll be hoping there's another safety car here in this race to get himself back into this one, but Bennett into the pits and is now back out on the track. He is the driver who desperately needs some luck, some safety car, some carnage to intervene here in this race, otherwise he will score nil par here tonight. But his teammate currently leads the race ahead of Denny Boy, who's driving an absolute cracker here. Where was Denny Boy in qualifying and a sprint race? Because he has come from absolutely nowhere. He wasn't really. I didn't even notice him in the sprint race. Now he's currently running in P2.
Yeah, he's kept his name to himself. Come out from the shadows here, up 8 positions in 10 laps this is, with a few on the safety car, and still on the back of Demspec. He's just about going to have DRS, but I don't think it's a lap. No, it's not enabled yet, but it is this time round. So we're gonna have to see what happens. GGJ Bo is going to be on the back of HG Biget. He's going to go down the inside. HG Biget is not going to put up any resistance to that, so that's job done for GGJ. He's up into the podium points, setting off to Demspec again. But yeah, really good race from Denny Boy so far.
Definitely so. The battle's still going on right now. Denny Boy's trying to put the pressure on, but Demspecky's currently standing tall to it. GGJ's got HGV looking back to his inside there into turn 4, but way too far back. And now GGJ will probably pull away on those 6-lap pressure tyres, which will probably have a slight advantage. Obviously, GGJ's got the pace as well to pull away. So we've got the Mutsnuts into the pits, and so is Aussie Albie as well. So both of those two putting the hard tyres on by the looks of it, or is Aussie Albie doing the same thing? Actually, I think Aussie Albie's coming in for a drive-through because he hasn't been in his box. So he hasn't changed tyres, he's coming for a drive-through, and Aussie Albie back out onto the track. So he's obviously served that penalty and is now off and on his way again.
Vincent Janssen is at the back of his DRS train here between Tezamaz, HG Biget and GGJ. He's going to have to try and find his way through here, pick his way through. I know he's a bit hot-headed in this race so far, it's easy to say, but he just has to get his head back in the game, head up, focus up, and just try and plough his way through this field.
Tezamaz is going to be hoping that HG drops out of that second barrier there to GGJ, because if she does, then he's going to have a free crack at her here coming down the start-finish straight, but HG just holds on to the DRS there on GGJ, but Tezamaz here with a run. He's going to surely come through here into turn 1. Yes, up the inside. That's the job done there for Tezamaz into turn 1. Yeah, good move, especially when you consider the fact that the AlphaTauri did have the DRS there on the car in front, but he managed to make that toe work, and obviously got a good exit out of the final corner as well. HG trying to come back at him, coming down towards turn 4, but nothing doing there. And that is now Chesamaza up into 4th place, can now try and chase down the podium places here. But Demsbecky and Denny Boy still running out the front. The gap's not really changing between those two. There is the rest of them coming through turn 5 right now. Street Boy's on the back of Crazy Max as he's making a move around the outside here through turn 5. Crazy Max trying to keep himself there, but Street Boy's got it done and moves himself through. A wonderful move there from Street Boy up into 9th place. Very, very ballsy around the outside indeed there from him. As back to the leaders here we go. Demsbecky, Denny Boy, 7/10 of a second. They've got about 2 seconds back to GGJ as they're all filing through turn 9 coming through. Crazy Max is still on the back of Street Boy. He hasn't given up in this battle here as they're coming into turn 9. Lay on the brakes there, but Street Boy's just got the inside covered off, holding on to that one for now. Vincent though, who's arriving on the back of HD Baguette and might be fancying a move this time around as they're coming through the chicane. Can he get a good run here? HD Baguette might just about be holding on to the slipstream here. Sorry, the DRS. No, sorry, she is out of the DRS there on Tezamaza. So here goes Vincent. Is he going to be able to get close enough here down the start-finish straight? I think he's just a little bit too far back this time around as they come down towards turn 1.
Alpha Tower in a straight line. Wow, he basically didn't even gain anything, Vincent, in that straight line. That's shocking. Yeah, it's a pretty good race so far. Denny Boy is still within 4/10, and one thing I've noticed is GGJ is on 6-lap old tyres, so he's half the tyre life of the front 2, and he just isn't keeping up. I don't know what's happened. I think he's slowly closing in on Demsbecky, but Denny Boy is holding his own out there. Very solid race, as I've said before. But he's just keeping with Demsbecky, but GGJ really needs to get a hurry on. Although one thing I have found in this game is that hards actually get progressively better as
that's what I found.
You know, as the life gets older, really, because you know the tyres start to set in and really start to warm up and really start to bed in. So we'll see what happens to GGJ.
That's what I've found from watching. I find that the fastest laps from a driver on the hard tyres usually come between lap 10 and 15. In general, and then obviously they start to go off after about 20 laps into the stint, and then after 25 laps they're done. But yeah, I think that's definitely some truth to what you say there.
I mean, I had a primary data source and Denny Boy's round.
No!
Denny Boy's in the wall.
Oh no!
That is shocking. I really hoped he would have got a podium there, but he's in the wall. I don't think he had any damage because it was a light tap on the wall. I don't think, no, he doesn't have any damage.
Vincent making a move on HD Baguette. In the meantime, coming down towards turn 1, that's going to be, I think, easy pickings here for Vincent Janssen this time around. HD Baguette trying to hold it around the outside, but can't do it, and that's Vincent up into 4th, so he can now try and get himself involved in the podium positions, but he's on worn out hard tyres like Demsbecky is, and like HD Baguette is as well. Denny Boy likewise, so GGJ and Tezamaza on paper should have the fastest cars, but as you said before, Max, obviously it takes a little while for the hards to get up to temperature, so that could definitely be a factor for these two at this point. Or maybe because they put the tyres on so early, they put them on lap 8, so maybe they're thinking about the long game here. Maybe they're thinking, well, let's not take too much out of the tyres yet, let's keep them going because these guys around us have to pit again, so let's just kind of play it cool, keep our cards close to our chest and make sure we get these tyres to the end maybe.
Yeah, definitely. That's one thing that's very possible in this race, and even I've got like first-hand evidence of the hards being quicker, because like a couple laps from the end I was saying personal best, like 2/10 quicker than each. So yeah, they just have to really bend in, and it's a track as well, because the more rubbered in the track is, the quicker your car goes, and the more grip you have, and the more aerodynamic downforce you have as well. So that is definitely a factor.
Absolutely, we can see here that GGJ has actually closed the gap a little bit to Demsbecky over the course of this lap. It was the best part of 2 seconds, it's now 1.2 as the mark crashed. Oh no. Oh yeah, he's had a big moment there coming to the final corner. Denny Boy's got back ahead of Matty Pitt up into P6 into turn 1. The mark's getting it going again, but he's coming into the pits. I think he might have had a bit of damage there from that contact with the wall.
Was Tezamaza always this close to GGJ? Because if not, he's closed in massive. Okay, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, these two have been running nip and tuck, but they're both closing in on Demsbecky now.
Yeah, wildly. I think GGJ a couple laps ago, like 2 laps ago, was 1.8. Now it's 1.2. Now without this Denny Boy as a buffer, Demsbecky is definitely exposed, and GGJ has all the opportunities to just lash out at him and try everything he's got.
Definitely so. Red Bull having the better night tonight than the Ferrari boys all together, because Bennett currently running in P10. But can we see a safety car bring him back into this race? If not, then Bennett's going to be fighting for some menial points here tonight. But Currently, Dennis Becky's only got just over a second of a gap into GGJ. We know that the Ferrari's generally quicker than the Red Bull through these parts of the track, but GGJ will probably have the straight line speed on Dennis Becky, because we know that the Red Bull guys have got their low downforce setups here for this race compared to the Ferrari. But coming down the start-finish straight, Dennis Becky's just about safe here from DRS, but you'll see the straight line speed of the Red Bull start to kick in, and that gap will be under a second by the time we get to the end of the straight. Just about, I think, or maybe not, just over actually. But yeah, all in all, definitely looking like GGJ has got the pace here over Dennis Becky, as we're on almost midway through this race. These two with plenty of history between them, and once again they're 1 and 2, and once again we see a battle on the horizon. But Teza Muzza is there as well, and hoping that he might be able to be the party pooper. Who knows, with the history that these two have got, Dennis Becky and GGJ, Teza Muzza might be thinking to himself, well, these guys are probably going to trip over each other, that their emotions are going to get involved, and they're going to end up making a mistake, and then who knows, he could even be the benefactor from whatever goes on. Hopefully that's not going to be the case. I'm hoping and praying that Dennis Becky and GGJ keep their differences away from the track. That's what I'm hoping, that they can be professional and be racing drivers and just be grown-ups. But you know, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's everyone, you know, emotions just thrown out the window. It's just about being in the moment and just not thinking about anything else. But yeah, I think GGJ and Dennis Becky, it's been decent racing so far. I think, yeah, definitely more civilized than the other two, their teammates really. But yeah, I reckon they could have a really good race here. Again, I'm just praying, because you know this is what we want to see, because the Red Bull and the Ferrari has had an amazing championship battle, to quote Crofty. And yeah, I just can't wait to see what happens this race really. And he's closed within a second. I think Dennis Becky a little bit of a moment now, and caused him to have the DRS in the next DRS zone.
Yeah, definitely. So I saw Denny Boy getting close to the back of HD Baguette coming into turn 1 as well, so he's piling that pressure on the back of her at the moment. But HD Baguette's still reasonably close to the back of Vincent, and Vincent's making no impression whatsoever on the leaders at this point. But this is still going on right now between the three leaders, who have just kind of got enough of a buffer between each of them at this point to be comfortable. But Dennis Becky, I mean, he's been sort of teetering just around a second, but now I think that's well under a second. DRS here, yeah, for the Red Bull of GGJ coming down towards the end of the back straight.
One thing though, Dennis Becky, look at his steering wheel. He has 100% ERS, where GGJ has 15%. Wow. So Dennis Becky has not been spending anything. So when it comes to, you know, when things come to worst, he can spend that battery, and even when he has to pit, spend all the battery, get the undercut, and yeah, just see what happens. But
then again, GGJ doesn't have to pit again, so that's going to be massively beneficial for him. Or thing is though, he's going to have to be really looking after those tyres, because in order to not pit again, he's got to be very, very kind to them. 26 laps, obviously 24 of those will be at racing speed, so it's not going to be too bad, but GGJ definitely will be feeling it at the end of this race if he pushes it too much now. But as you said before, Dennis Becky's got a full battery and will probably be able to put the medium tyres on and push as hard as he likes. Probably will have about 1.5 to 2 seconds a lap, but how far is he going to be behind once he comes out of the pits? These are questions that will be answered in the next 15 laps, and currently we're well into the second half of the Spanish Grand Prix here at Motive for Season 5 here on the EA Sports Formula 1 game, and it's currently this man here who we're riding on board with in the Scuderia Ferrari. He's got his teammate down in P10 who's had a bit of a nightmare so far in this race, but Dennis Becky currently is in control just about, but as I said before, he needs to come into the pits. GGJ and Teza Muzza might be able to go the entire race on this set of tyres. Whilst we're talking about this battle, I have noticed that Vincent Janssen is now starting to bring the gap down here to this top 3. He is only 4 seconds off of the lead, and that was considerably more than that about a lap ago. So Vincent Janssen looks to be flying at the moment.
Yeah, Teza Muzza as well. Let's not discount him. He's still within 8/10 of GGJ, and he's in within DRS and still hoping that these two will trip over each other and he'll pick up the scraps. But GGJ getting just closer and closer, looming over his rear wing and trying to wait for Dennis Becky to make a mistake. He's right on the back of him there, right in his gearbox. Will he have a go down the inside here? Dennis Becky's going to have to go defensive. We've seen what happened with Red Bull Ferrari around this corner before, but no, nothing happens here, and nothing to note yet. Yeah,
but GGJ's just, at the moment, he's just testing him out, trying to put him under a bit of pressure, seeing how he stands up to it. But GGJ, he knows that he's obviously in a reasonably good position here with the strategy, so he just needs to kind of keep cool and doesn't really need to go for any moves, I don't think, at this point. He just needs to make sure that he keeps Demspecki guessing. Right now he needs to make sure he stays ahead of Tezamaza as well, who's also putting that pressure on him. But GGJ and Tezamaza at the moment, I think, are a net 1 and 2 here in this race. Vincent, though, is closing on these guys. The gap's only 2.5 seconds back to Vincent Janssen. He is now almost under 3 seconds behind these guys. And I tell you what, over the course of this particular lap, he's been reeling them in very, very quickly here. 2.3 now. Vincent Janssen is behind Tezamaza. Keep an eye on Vincent here, because I reckon this is going to be a new fastest lap of the race from him as we come over the line here to start lap 20. Vincent Janssen, let's see. It's not the fastest lap of all, but I think he was the quickest of the top 4 on the last time around. I'm pretty sure of that, because he's definitely bringing that gap down. It's a lot less than what it was.
He's definitely spent all of his ERS as well. He's just trying to get as close as he can to Tez and try and get past him to try and secure his double podium for Red Bull even. And this will help him out massively in the championship battle, because Bennett's not making any ground on Crazy Max or any of the above. So yeah, a really rough race for Ferrari so far, but his only hope is Demspecki in the lead. But how long will this last is the question on everybody's lips.
Yeah, absolutely. As we can see, GGJ still keeping himself within a second, but Demspecki is now starting to open up a little bit here. Seems to have just found a bit more confidence, maybe a second wind in those hard tyres at this point. Maybe he's just got through the grading and is now starting to unleash a bit more performance here, but he's not far away from hitting the cliff. Those tyres probably have got 5 or 6 more laps in them before they start to fully go off. So Demspecki now needs to just time his pit stop right, needs to judge when he's going to make that switch. Is he going to try and long it out to the point where he can put the soft tyres on and go all out, full send for the final part of this race? Or is he going to play it cautious and come in a lap or two's time for a set of yellow wall mediums and just try and close that gap on tyres that won't be actually that massively advantageous over the Red Bull of GGJ and the Aston Martin of Tezamaza? This is going to be a fascinating closing a few laps to this race. As we're on lap 21 of 33, we see HDB get into the pits, so she's making another pit stop here. I imagine putting the soft tyres on. Wouldn't be at all surprised if we see softs going on. It's mediums actually, it's mediums, so maybe a little bit too far out actually, thinking about it, to put the softs on. So HDB get there, medium tyres, and can go to the end from there quite easily, I would have thought.
Oh yeah, definitely. Mediums can, I mean, if they did 11 laps in the sprint with all the confidence in the world, yeah, definitely mediums last. But the question is, softs and mediums for them, for GGJ, no, Demspecki and Tezamaza, and even Vincent as well. Yeah, it's going to be a really close battle, or even close call between these two tyres, but I think it's going to be the softs, you know. And I think AlphaTauri has lost it, and it's Crazy Max. He's had a little bit of a moment in the exit turn 3 there. Yeah,
and Bennett's had a moment, yeah. What's happened to Bennett here?
Bennett as well. It's a little bit wide there. I don't know what happened. It's just a recurring nightmare for Ferrari at this moment in time, especially with Bennett as well. Even after that, after that incident he had in the sprint race, yeah, things will be downhill. And there's a Red Bull rounds.
Oh, Tezza, what's happened to Tezza? Tezza's lost it coming out of the chicane. Wow, no way. He was really close on the back of Demspecki and GGJ, but he's binned it there down to P6. Oh no.
So disappointing from just such a consistent driver throughout both races. It's a big mistake, and it's elevated Denny Boy up to P4 and even Matty Pitt to P5, but most importantly, a Red Bull double podium.
Bennett also getting ahead of Crazy Max up into 9th place, so now he's got a couple of points to his name as it stands in this race, and he's only 7 seconds behind HG Baguette as well. So can Bennett continue to try and make some gains here? He's coming into the pits here at the end of lap 21. Surely that's going to be another set of mediums, because he's not going to be able to get the softs to the end from here. I wouldn't have thought. There is the Ferrari crew waiting for him as he pulls into the box. What are we going to see going on Bennett's car?
GGJ though, he's
Bennett's
right
put the
on the
hards
back
on.
of Demspecki. On the back straight, he's not going to use any ERS. He's going to go try and round the outside. This could be a brilliant move. He's going to have to go off the track, and he could be questioning that. And the battle is already sparking up between these two. I think Demspecki is safe to pit now, just to stay out of his way and not cause any unneeded incidents that could happen between these two.
Here we come then, we're coming around around past the pit lane, and it looks like neither of them coming in, yeah, so they're staying out. Obviously Demspecki now going to be really struggling on these tyres, as here we go, GGJ's got the DRS, the Red Bull's got quick straight line speed as well, so he's going to pull out now to the outside, and Demspecki's going to try and make this hard. Was that a block manoeuvre there? Was that an illegal block there from Demspecki, should I say?
No, that is disgusting from Demspecki. You can't move like that under last minute. That is definitely his fault, and that needs to be looked at, because that could have been a massive incident as well.
We actually
Demspecki 100%.
We actually missed that on the stream. I was just flicking camera angles as that happened, so I didn't actually catch that.
I was watching the whole thing. Demspecki moves right at the last minute over on GGJ, and that made a little bit of contact, so that definitely needs to be looked at. Late
defensive manoeuvre there from Demspecki, and obviously GGJ, if that was as Max described to us, I'm sure it was, then that is going to be, he's going to be absolutely fuming with that one, and we'll be seeing more of this raging on. Obviously we saw a collision between them earlier on tonight, and they just can't get enough of winding each other up here by the looks of it. These two in a championship battle as well, they're running close in the points, and this is only going to ignite fuel to that it's only going to ignite that fire even more. But GGJ's still on the back of him, and obviously he's got that speed, he's got so much better grip there on those tyres. Demspecki's tyres are now going to be starting to reach their sell-by date here. He's obviously pushing it to the point where he can put the softs on, so he'll have a huge pace advantage over Demspecki, over GGJ at the end. He'll have a massive pace advantage with the soft tyres on, and he's going to push it all the way to that point where he can put them on. Surely it's going to be this lap or the next one to be able to make full use of it though.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look at Vincent though, he's 6/10 off. He's been using all of his ERS and all of his resources to try and catch up to his teammate and try and support and just pick up the pieces of this inevitable collision.
I hadn't even thought about Vincent. I hadn't even considered him. I didn't even realise he was closing in on these guys. Wow, this is unbelievable.
I've only just noticed that he's caught up within DRS and within striking range, really, and yeah, it's double podium for a Red Bull, but can it be better? Can it be a win? 1-2 even? Who knows?
Well, GGJ is going to be on his own very soon, because obviously he's the only one that hasn't got to pit again, but these three I imagine are going to all be on the soft tyres. So Demspecki, Vincent and Denny Boy are all going to be on the softs, and these three are all going to be hunting down GGJ. Could it be beneficial to GGJ, the fact that these three potentially could all be battling and slowing each other down, which might give him that chance to just run away with this race in the closing laps? He'll have a big gap.
Oh god, this could be very crucial here. There's
bit of a tap.
Deep. He's going to go into pits. No, he's not coming to pits. One thing though I thought about
is
GGJ.
Oh, Denny Boy is
around the outside, and he's just gone on the curb, and that's really close again. And
here we go.
Try around the outside. There's more contact.
Surely this is it.
Yeah, he's overtaken him, but Demspecki again closing in on him on the main straight. This needs to be looked at, because this is a recurring issue. It's happened twice now.
This time GGJ was alert and alive to it. He knew what was coming and he was able to counter it, but if that keeps happening, it's going to cause an accident at some point.
Oh, Vincent has it down the inside. He's going to send it. This could be an amazing move, and he's through. It's a Red Bull 1-2, and that's a brilliant move from Vincent, who's sending it down the inside of Demspecki.
Oh, damn, goes very late.
He's sending it.
That was incredible, and he managed to get it stopped there as well. Almost went into it. No, come on, guys, what's all that about? No, Vincent, come on, man. What's all that about?
Yeah, I saw that move of the steering wheel. That one was on Vincent. I saw him turn right a little bit. That one's on Vincent. I knew this would happen, but not to this gravity, really. So disappointing from good racing so far, but
we've got a safety car here. Yeah, that's going to blow the strategy out of the window. I think. I don't want to call shots here. I really don't. But I'm very, very pessimistic about that one.
Yeah, Demspecki had a massive send down the inside. That was way out of shot.
It was out of order, but Vincent, I think, retaliated in completely unnecessarily there.
I saw his wheel movement, and he moved right. He moved his steering wheel right, causing him to spin. So that one, again, needs to be looked at.
I think that was a deliberate takeout, if I'm perfectly honest.
For sure. I've recorded it because I was on board with him, but yeah, I think that was on Vincent, and that should be a penalty. That should be slam dunk if anything.
Yeah. Well, the rules say at Motive that a deliberate takeout. We actually do, here at Motive, we do actually give second chances to drivers who deliberately take someone out. But basically there's a penalty point system, 75 points is the maximum that you can rack up in a 4-month period. you get 50 points for taking somebody out deliberately. So Vincent Janssen, if he is deemed by the stewards to have deliberately crashed into Demsbecky there, will have 50 of 75 points. That will also mean, I will actually let people know what it would be if he is found guilty of this, obviously. But if he is found to have deliberately taken Demsbecky out there, 50 points would give him a qualifying ban, a round ban, and then a qualifying ban at the round after that. So basically, he'd be banned from the next round of racing, and then for the next 2 races after that, we'd have 2 qualifying bans. So that's a 1 race ban, and then a qualifying ban from the 2 races after that. So that's 3 rounds, whereas round will be affected. That's if he did take him out deliberately. So you'd have 1 race ban and then 2 qualifying bans at the 2 races after that.
I'm still in shock about that, because that could have been such a good race, but now it's a safety car. And look at the field, they've all pitted for softs, so this is a very equal playing field. But Mazza again in P2, and the pace he showed throughout this whole race and the previous sprint race. I think we can have a new winner.
Yeah, I think you are right, but obviously, I'm still recovering from that, what I saw there. I'm a little bit in shock, and I'm very disappointed. I'm very, very disappointed. That's really shocked me. That has.
Yeah.
That's ruined what was a good race. That was a really exciting race that we saw there. And for me, I think that was completely unnecessary. And I really am struggling to see where the sense was in doing that. I really am.
Very, very childish for such an athlete sport, really. And there's just no need for both moves. Demsbecky sending down the inside, way too far back. Vincent Janssen taking out on a straight. It's a straight line, so
yeah, just wasn't needed at all. But here we are then, lap 27. We're going to have 6 racing laps, I think, because we're pretty much all bunching up now. So we should be getting going at the end of this particular lap. So we have 6-lap dash to the flag. GTJ leading on fresh soft, but they're all on fresh soft from first all the way down to 11th place. Aussie Albie the only one who's not on fresh softs, and he is running on 19-lap old hard tyres in 12th place. But everybody else has got fresh soft tyres on here. Obviously Aussie Albie is a lap down, so maybe just not really fussed at this point. Just thought, well, there's no point, I might as well just drive around, enjoy it, and yeah. But nonetheless, we have got a bit of a race here lined up ahead of us for the next 6 laps, and it's going to be a fascinating end to see who can take this one. GGJ and his teammate Vincent are both in the top 4. Mazza and Denny Boy in between them. Can Vincent get himself on the podium? What is the verdict going to be from that crash with Demsbecky and Vincent Janssen? Because for me,
is it possible to have a race ban? Like, you can be banned from this race, or like disqualified?
To be fair, the rules, the point system that we got says that you get a ban at the next. If you get 50 points on your license, you get a ban at the next race, and then the 2 races after that, you're banned from qualifying. So you start from the back. That's what it.
Mazza's in the wall.
Oh really? What?
Mazza just veered into a wall
doing?
and he crashed.
Is he going to regain his place? He's lost his front wing, hasn't he?
He's lost his front wing completely.
No way. Mazza's out of the race. I don't know. Denny Boy's on the back of GGJ, so he's now in 2nd place here in this race. GGJ makes a break for it here as we start lap 28. Vincent there running in 3rd place ahead of HD Baguette. You've got Matty Pitt there just behind HD Baguette, ahead of Street Boy, and then a bit of a gap back to the mark, who's lost a bit of time here on this restart. He's got Bennett looking down his inside here into turn 1. Bennett makes the move up into 7th place. This late restart has given Bennett a bit of an opportunity here in this one. Can he make the most of it here? Running in 7th place right now and chase down these leaders, as we've got not long in this race and not much time for him to do that. And obviously, with everybody being on fresh softs, there's not much of an advantage. He's going to have to really get his elbows out here. I reckon a P4 could be on the cards for Bennett if he really pushes in these final few laps, but he's got his work cut out, that's for sure.
Yeah, he definitely has a pace, but he has to get through Street Boy and Matty Pit and even Baguette. And I know Baguette doesn't like to give up places easily when it comes to actually fighting for points. But Denny Boy is on the back of GGJ here. Vincent Janssen, what can he do in this race? I know he's had a few incidents, so it might be penalties, but what can he do so far in the next coming laps? But Denny Boy is right on the back of GGJ. GGJ is not going to want to give up this win. But one thing I noticed as well, Denny Boy has a penalty. And it's 3 seconds of time for track limits. So what can he get out of this? I don't think he can win the race, but can he secure a podium at least?
Yeah, Vincent Janssen's going to be looking at this and eyeing it up as a possibility. He did a fast lap on that last lap, so he's gaining on these two right now. Denny Boy getting closer and closer and closer to the back of GGJ, but nothing doing coming into turn one. But yeah, like you say, Denny Boy, he's got work to do because he's not just got to get ahead of GGJ. He'd have to pull 3 seconds to him, and I think that might be a bit of a tall order as GGJ's also got more ERS than him. Vincent Janssen's running lowest on ERS out of the top 3. He's struggling to catch up with these guys right now. HD Baguette's got plenty of ERS in hers, as she's running just ahead of Matty Pitt, who's got a little bit more in his. Bennett is on the back of them as well. They're running in P6. He's within a second of Matty Pitt right now, as the Mutsnuts has just picked up a 3-second time penalty there for multiple warnings. So that's obviously going to affect his classification finishing position right now. But back to the leaders. Denny Boy getting closer and closer to GGJ, coming down towards turn 9. Just too far back right now. But yeah, Bennett looking to try and get himself, I'm sure, into the top 4 before we get to the end of this race. He can now focus his attention very much on Matty Pitt. Matty Pitt's just dropped out of the DRS here on HD Baguette, so looks like HD Baguette's getting those tyres in the zone where she needs them. But can Bennett have a crack here at Matty Pitt? So we've got double yellow flags coming through sector 2. Not sure what those are for right now.
But Mutsnuts has retired. He hasn't crashed. He's just retired the AI. So yeah, Vincent Janssen, Bennett actually with the fastest lap. He's on an absolute rage here. He's 5 tenths behind Matty Pitt, but until DRS is enabled, which is this lap, he's going to have a go at him. And Denny Boy is still within 3 tenths. He's eager to get past. He's seeing all his DRS. He might have a go here. Around the outside. Will he try anything? No. GGJ's a very late break of it. Gets in the grass, and he's gonna have to. Yeah, no chance having a move here unless he do a Dem Specky, which he doesn't. Which Dem Specky shouldn't have done. But yeah, Vincent Janssen is second behind. He's closing in slightly to Denny Boy, but not enough really. And yeah, let's just see what can happen with Denny Boy.
Definitely. So he's still putting the pressure on him, but as you said before, with that penalty, it's going to really affect him. I think that he needs GGJ to get a penalty. Really, can he put GGJ under enough pressure to make a mistake? Again, it's probably unlikely because GGJ is just going to be being cautious at this point. He doesn't really need to take any risks. But
he can let him through for all he cares because he would just get the win anyway.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. He's in that very enviable position, really. Bennett's on the back of Matty Pitt. You can see 3 tenths of a second between these two as they're coming through the chicane. So can Bennett get a run here down the start-finish straight, use the DRS? He's just dropped off a bit of Matty Pitt there coming through the final corner. So that's going to just affect his ability to close up onto the back of him. And Matty Pitt well clear is to come down the start-finish straight, but Matty Pitt has lost time to HD Baguette on that last lap. He's now 1.3 seconds adrift as Street Boy is closing up onto the back of Matty Pitt and Bennett here as we come into turn 1. The gap at the front, less than a tenth almost. Oh, here we go.
Try down the inside. GGJ shouldn't fight this because he has a penalty and he just won't win the race, Denny Boy. So he's just going to have to let him through because that's what he needs to do, and it's going to cause an unneeded accident. Round the outside, Denny Boy. Will he get the position? That's a brilliant move, but can he hold it into the next corner? Yes, he can. That's a brilliant move from Denny Boy, but can he hold it? How far can he get ahead from the rest of the field?
2.5 laps left to go, and he needs 3 seconds over GGJ, but GGJ is going to want to keep this. He's going to want to stay in this fight, and the thing that GGJ needs to do now, he needs to rein it in and just think to himself, come on, all I need to do is hold it together. I just need to make sure I don't mess up and stay within 3 seconds of this man here, and he can actually win this race in terms of the classification. But is he going to be able to exercise that kind of self-restraint, knowing that he's just lost the lead on the track? He wants to win it on the track. He wants to have the pride of being first across the line, but he just needs to think about the championship, think about the points. And obviously Demspecki out of the race and potentially leaving the championship by the looks of it on the Discord server, as GGJ making a move here down the start finish straight, DRS aided, and that's going to be easy pickings there for him with the DRS. Back up into the lead, Denny Boy there going to try and fight him. Vincent Janssen within a second of these guys now in third place, as Bennett's made the move on Matty Pitt here going into turn 1, so he's moved himself into P5, and can he now chase down HG Baguette, who is currently a few seconds up the road.
Denny Boy round the outside, he's going to try this again, and it's a very solid move from there. But GGJ is going to have a little bit of a switchback here. But no, Denny Boy down the outside again, he's going to try round the outside GGJ. But Denny Boy, oh, it's so close, but GGJ just about holds the lead. And again, it's just losing unneeded time to his teammate. And will Vincent even try to fight his teammate on the next lap if he actually, worst comes to worst? But yeah, Denny Boy is just trying to fight with GGJ for his eventual possibility of a win.
Here we go, DRS here for Denny Boy down the inside to turn 9. As you can see, the GGJ is giving him space. Very clean, fair racing between these two. Denny Boy's trying to poke a nose round the outside here. GGJ's got the inside covered off there for turn 11. Just about keeping onto it. But GGJ knows that he doesn't need to fight this, but he wants to. He wants to be first across the line as they're coming through the chicane. And Vincent Janssen is now right on the back of these guys as well. About just under a second separating the top 3. But Denny Boy's going to get the DRS and is surely going to return the favour and pass GGJ again. Here coming down the start finish straight, it's going to be about who can time their run, who can be in the right place at the right time here. DRS here for the McLaren, he pulls out now and he's going to go shortly around the outside here of GGJ. Denny Boy gets it done, beautiful move there, using every bit of the track to make that move, and he moves himself back up into P1 again, using the artificial grass ever so slightly. Denny Boy has P1, but GGJ with no penalties will take the win. Vincent Janssen is also will take P2, and I'll tell you what, HG Baguette might be able to take P3 here as well off of Denny Boy.
All this fighting between Denny Boy and GGJ has harmed their race really, and HG Baguette consequently is in the podium places, so it could be an amazing race for her, starting P7 I think it was. And yeah, amazing job from her, and yeah, from the Red Bulls as well. Vincent Janssen probably won't keep this position, but GGJ, a very solid race, but he's going to have another go at Denny Boy there. Maybe even knows that Vincent's going to get a penalty for those consequent collisions he had in this race. But he's just going to hold on to Denny Boy, and he's going to have a little go there. HG Baguette with a 3-second time penalty. No, that could have been a podium for her.
That would have been.
With Bennett and Matty Pitt behind her, that just throws all the chances out for her. It was really unfortunate.
But here we go, Denny Boy out of the last corner. He's going to take the win on the track here at the Spanish Grand Prix. But it is going to be GGJ who takes another win this season in the Formula 1 League. Well done to him. Vincent taking a Red Bull 1-2, but we'll get some licence points penalties from tonight. Denny Boy completes the podium in the end on the classification, so holds on with HG Baguette picking up that late penalty. Bennett there takes 4th ahead of Matty Pitt, who comes over in P5. HG Baguette 6th ahead of the mark in 7th. Crazy Max finishes in 8th place in the end, ahead of Street Boy, who takes 9th, and Aussie Al will be the last driver to finish the race in P10. Over a lap down, the Mutts Nuts, Tezza Demspecki, Polish My Balls, Twitch Storms, and Jules Silverin all retiring from the race. But what a race that was there. And congratulations there to GGJ on taking the win. Vincent Janssen getting driver of the day. I have a feeling there'll be a few people who might disagree with that one, but nonetheless, GGJ, Vincent and Denny Boy, your podium finishers. But a bit of a hollow situation there for the Red Bulls, because one of their drivers is going to be picking up a hefty penalty points at the end of this race. And Vincent Janssen, I tell you what, he's going to need to be on best behaviour over the next 4 months, because those 50 penalty points, I mean, that's going to be a heavy dent in his ability to drive this season, because although they don't affect your championship points, what they're going to do is it means that he's going to now have to watch what he's doing at all times, and he's not going to be able to drive with the freedom that I think he'd want to be. So that's going to be something that he's going to have hanging over him for the rest of this season, or for a lot of this season anyway.
Yeah, definitely. He's got like a constant paranoia, as he said, just, you know, top behaviour, because any more slip-ups is going to just kill him even more. But Bennett as well is second in, he's got the second most points this race. So yeah, very solid race from him. You know, pulling it back for Ferrari. Demspecki with 5 points in the sprint, but not much to note other than that. But yeah, solid race from Red Bull. But yeah, Bennett with the damage limitation race, like he could have had.
Yeah, for sure. Very good job there from him. But Well, thanks everybody for tuning in live here on the Motive Racing channel for tonight. Big thank you to everybody who tuned in live, and obviously to the drivers watching this back. Hopefully we did you justice here on the stream. If you do enjoy, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, share it with your friends, family members and otherwise associates as well. We will see you next week. We'll be live at the same time as always for round 7 at Monaco, so that's going to be carnage. I'm looking forward to that. But thanks everybody once again. We will see you in the next one. Have a good evening, enjoy your weekends, and we will see you later on.
See you next time.